Let's start with a really unsettling thought. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the life you're living, it might not actually be your own. And that's the wild idea from the psychologist Carl Jung that we're going to unpack today.
So let's just jump right in with a pretty tough question. I mean, really think about it. Is the life you're living your life? How much of the person you show to the world is the real you versus a character you've just gotten really, really good at playing?
All right, to even begin to wrap our heads around this, we've got to talk about the man himself, Carl Jung, a total pioneer of depth psychology. He believed that real growth wasn't about trying to fit in better. Nope, it was about this epic journey to find your authentic self. And he said, it's a journey most of us never even begin.
So why is that? Why don't more of us take that journey? Well, think about it. From the second we're born, we're basically being programmed. We learn really fast what gets a smile and what gets a frown. So we start to hide away the parts of ourselves that don't fit the approved script. And this leaves us with what Jung called a quiet unrest. You know that feeling? That low-grade hum of dissatisfaction that tells you something just isn't right.
Okay, so where does this split even come from? How do we end up with this feeling of being divided? Well, Jung broke it down into two huge pieces of our personality. He called them the mask and the shadow. And they're the two sides of the coin we all have to deal with.
So, Jung lays out these two big concepts. On one hand, you've got the persona. That's your public mask, your social media profile, the you that you want everyone to see. It's your highlight reel, right? It helps you function in society. But then there's the shadow. This is the dumping ground for everything we've pushed down, all the stuff we've rejected or hidden, not just from the world, but from ourselves.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The shadow isn't just this scary basement full of your bad traits. Sure, our fears are in there, but so are our secret desires, our vulnerabilities, and get this, our hidden strengths and our greatest untapped potential. Think about it. Raw, uncontrolled anger? Yeah, that's destructive. But what if that anger is actually a hidden, passionate drive for justice? That raw power lives in the shadow.
So you might be thinking, how on earth do I even find my shadow? Well, Jung gave us a huge clue. Ask yourself this. Have you ever just been so irritated by something someone else does, like it just gets under your skin for no good reason? Jung called that a projection. That intense emotional reaction is often a sign that you're seeing a part of your own shadow staring back at you in someone else.
And that brings us to the whole point of this work. See, the goal isn't to fight the shadow or to, destroy it. The real journey, the real adventure, is about turning around, facing it, and figuring out how to integrate that hidden part of you so you can finally become whole.
I mean, Jung himself said it best. Psychological growth is not about eliminating the shadow. It is about integrating it. It's not about becoming some flawless, perfect person. That's impossible. It's about becoming whole. It means owning every single piece of yourself, not just the convenient or pretty parts.
And this whole journey, this whole process, it has a name. Jung called it individuation. This is the absolute heart of his psychology. It's a lifelong quest to bring all the pieces of you together, the light and the dark, what you know and what you don't, to finally become the person you were always meant to be.
Okay, so where do you even start? It sounds massive, right? But the first steps are actually pretty simple. It starts with just a little awareness. Start asking why about your knee-jerk reactions. Then get curious. When something makes you uncomfortable, don't run. Lean in a little. Ask it what it's trying to tell you. And finally, introspection. Pay attention to your dreams or try journaling. These are like direct lines to your unconscious mind.
But hold on, because the rabbit hole goes even deeper. It's not just about our personal stuff. Jung believed that we're all plugged into these deep universal patterns that have shaped humanity for thousands of years. He called these our inner blueprints or archetypes.
He said these archetypes are stored in something called the collective unconscious. Think of it like a shared psychic software that all humans are born with. It's why myths and stories from completely different cultures all over the world have such similar themes. They're all running on the same original software.
And the most famous one, the one we all get, is the hero. It's that part deep inside you that craves a mission, that wants to overcome stuff, that's always pushing you to become stronger and better. It's that voice that calls you to adventure.
But what's a hero without a villain, right? Or a dragon to slay? In our own inner story, the shadow is that dragon. It's the inner challenge, the thing we fear most, that our inner hero has to face if we're ever going to truly evolve. If you avoid the dragon, you stay stuck in the village.
And it gets even more nuanced. Jung also talked about the anima and animus. Now, this isn't about your literal gender, it's about the balance of psychological energies inside every single one of us. The anima is that intuitive, creative, emotional energy. The animus is the logical, assertive, structured energy. And to be a whole person, Jung said, you have to embrace and integrate both.
And all of this, the mask, the shadow, the archetypes, it all leads to this one mind-bending idea that could totally change how you see yourself. And it's this: the you that you think you are might just be an illusion. See, most of us live our whole lives from what Jung called the ego self. It's that little voice that says, I am this, I am not that. It's defined by your job, your history, all your labels and your fears. But Jung believed that beyond that little box is your true self. Something that isn't fixed at all. It's fluid, it's connected to everything, and it's the sum total of who you are, all your limitless potential.
Now, it's super important to say, the ego isn't the bad guy here. Not at all. We need it to function in the world, to have a sense of identity. The mistake, the trap, is thinking that the ego is the whole story. It's just one chapter, not the entire book of who you are.
So what does this all mean for you, like right now, today? It means your real life, your actual life, isn't something you have to wait for. It can begin the moment you choose to look beyond the tiny borders of your ego and start embracing this much larger, limitless version of yourself.
So how do you do it? You start by embracing the unknown, instead of automatically fearing it. You start to let go of your fierce attachment to all the labels you've given yourself. You actually start listening to what your gut, your intuition, your dreams are telling you. And maybe hardest of all, you just surrender to the process. You accept that it's a journey, not a destination.
And when you do that, you get to the most beautiful part of this whole thing. The big reveal is you were never actually lost. You don't have to go out and build some new, better you. It's a journey of uncovering. The whole amazing, authentic self you've been looking for has been right there, inside you the entire time.
So, we'll leave you with this to really think about. Will you keep living as just a piece of who you could be, confined by old stories and fears? Or will you take that step into the unknown and start embracing the vast, incredible, limitless person you were always meant to become? The choice, really, is all yours.